Hello, this is a walkthrough for Guided Project 4-1. For this project, we'll be importing a text file to complete the inventory worksheet for Everywhere Shoes. We'll then be using a flash fill to enter product codes and sort the data by supplier and code. We'll be using autofilter for several tasks, formatting data, preparing subtotals, building a pivot table, and then exporting the data as a text file. So the included files for this one are the start file and then the wherever-04 text file. So first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to rename it and save it as a file of your own name. After you do so, we're going to be importing a text file. So we'll be importing a text file to come up here to data from text/CSV, and the file we want is wherever-04.txt. We want to import, load to. We want to go to existing worksheet, and we want to say it's going to be here at I3. And then we're going to press OK. And then we'll say that cell I3 displays as the location, right? And we will select cells I3 to J41, so cells I3 to J41. And we want to click the Convert to Range button. You can find that up here under Table Tools, right? Under Design. And then we want the tools, right? Convert to range. Saying this will permanently remove the query definition. So yes, we want to continue. Next, we want to use the format painter. Okay, so we want to copy formatting from cell H4 across. So we can compare to the format painter, and we can format it across and down. The same thing here, format painter, and we can format it across and down. So something else you can do now is you can take them up here to cells I3 to J3, and we can clear these cells. Alright. And you'll notice I can still be there, so we can get rid of the formatting in this cell. And then let's take care of this. Wherever shoes, you can see that it needs to merge over across. Another way we can do this is selecting cells A1 to J2. Come up here, we can do the alignment launcher to settings, horizontal, center across selection, and it will automatically merge those cells and align them for us. Alright, so next we'll be using flash fill to insert product codes. So we're going to insert a column between columns B and C. Alright, so auto format, B and C, we're going to insert. Okay, so in cell C4, we're going to type in code, and in cell C5, we're going to type in RHB. In cell C6, we type in an R, right, and press enter. And then we can do the fill button. So flash fill did not come up automatically, so we can do it ourselves. Clicking on cell C7, home, over to fill, we can say flash fill, and they'll automatically fill it in for us. Okay, so now we can auto fit column C, so it's not too terribly wide. And then we can sort data multiple columns. Alright, so we click on cells A5, we're going to click on the sort button up here. And we'll make sure we set our data as headers. First thing we're going to do is sort by supplier, values A to Z. We're going to add a level and then sort by code, select by cell values, A to Z, then press OK. And we'll notice that we had a blank row from the data imported that was flushed to the top of the sorted data. So we can select this row and we can delete it out of the data. Next thing we can do is applying some additional formatting. We're going to select cells F5 all the way down to F40. Right? We're going to click on our conditional formatting. Conditional formatting again is in Home, Style, Conditional Formatting. Okay, highlight cells rules, and we're going to select less than. The option is going to come up, and we're going to say anything less than 2 we want to highlight. Press OK. We want light red fill with dark red text, looks good to us, and press OK. Right, we can close this queries and connections now after this. Next, moving on to step 10, we can use an auto filter. Coming back up here to cell A5, we can click the filter button. Okay, so we can go to data, there's a filter button there, home, select filter button is here as well. And you can see it automatically put the filters up for all these. So let's go over here to the supplier column, little down arrow, and we're going to deselect the select all, right? We only want to select the Jennifer's Closet. Once we have that, we can press OK, and now only that supplier has been sorted. So next it's asking us to copy the worksheet, so we can come down here to Inventory, right click, and we can move our copy, create a copy, move it to the end, and then we're going to rename this one to be called Women's. Alright, so now on the Women's sheet. So on the Women's sheet, we went back over here to Supplier, and we're going to clear Filter from Supplier. Alright, next we want to click the Filter button to hide the Auto Filter arrows. And then we go back up to conditional formatting. We select clear rules from entire sheet. And there we go. We're back to just a basic sheet now. We're going to select cells A4 to K40. We want to format as a table. We want table style medium 5. This is our data, has headers, yes. Alright, now we're going to add a calculated column to the table. Okay, so we're going to insert a column at column J. So now our column J has a new insert. We're going to call this column markup. And then for the data, we're going to say it's going to be equal to cell H5. So it's I5 minus H5 for the markup. And then you can see it's automatically sorted and filled all the way down. Alright, so next we're going to click the Auto Filter for Men's or Women's column. Right here, and we only want the women's. So deselect the men's, press OK, and there we go. So coming all the way back up to the top again. Okay, so we can copy the inventory worksheet to the end, and we're name it this time as Subtotals. So okay, so we can move our copy, move to the end, create a copy. We're going to call this one Subtotals. Alright. Okay, next thing is we're going to change the tab color to accent orange, accent 6. Come up here to supplier, remove the filter from suppliers. Alright, we're going to come up here to conditional formatting, clear the entire sheet from formatting, and we are going to remove the filter. Now we can use the subtotal command. So now that we're on the subtotal sheet, we're going to select cell J5. We'll notice that the records are sorted by supplier. Okay, we will click the Subtotal button, which is under Data button. Okay, Subtotal. And at the each range in, we want to use this change in supplier. We want to use the function of count, making sure we check the supplier in the add subtotal to area. Okay, we want to make sure we deselect every other field, and then press OK. And so a subtotal row adds up, or shows up now. Okay, so all Jennifer's closets, there's 12. Outdoors incorporated, there's 8, and etc. Okay, now the cell in I-17, we want that to be right justified. And the same thing for the others here. From here, we can create a pivot table. So I'll come back to our inventory worksheet. Inventory, selecting A5. Right, we can insert a pivot table. Insert pivot table. Okay, verify the range is A4 to K40. And we're using a new worksheet. Press OK. From here, we're going to be adding fields to the pivot table. We're going to select the product box here. And we move it to the rows area. Okay. From there, we want to add the quantity in the values area. And we want to add the supplier, but we move the supplier into the column area. And there you can see that we now have a pivot table, which we can adjust as necessary. Next thing we want to do is change the formatting. Pivot table styles under pivot table tools, design. Let's go down here to the more. Let's do the medium 7. Alright. So now we want to select the banded rows box, which is right here under, again, tools, design, banded rows, and banded columns. Okay, we want to name the sheet pivot table. Again, we want to copy the inventory worksheet to the end, but this time we will not rename it. So, move and copy, move to the end, copy, OK. On the copy sheet, clear the filter from the supplier. So again, clear filter from supplier. And let's remove the auto filter filters. And there we go. Now it's asking us to export the data as a tab delimited file. Alright, so clicking on cell A1 in the copied sheet, we're going to File and then Export. Okay, we're going to change the file type to a text tab delimited file, and then we're going to click Save As. Okay, and then we'll navigate to where we want to save it. We'll rename it to Excel 4-1, 4-1, and then we'll hit Save. Okay, we're only saving the active sheet. Last thing is just to save the entire file, and you'll be done with guided Practice 4-1.